Hey, what's up guys, welcome back to a brand new video. So today we are playing Demonblox. So Demonblox is a brand new up and coming Demon Slayer game that is releasing very soon, in probably less than an hour or so from this video being released. So they're going to be doing a lot of public testing, and you will be able to actually give in-game feedback and give feedback from actual players and not just the testers. So we're just gonna go over the game really. Like, we're not gonna do anything like special. I'm not gonna be showing you like guides or anything. I'm just going to be really playing the game and like talking about it, showing you some cool features that I think were very nice about the game when I was playing it. But yeah, without further ado, let's
these demons remember the name. I do them dirty like EU when I'm dead calm. Till I get hot, but I see through all your dead plots. I'm in the guys in these suit, cut your head off. Pull up with your demons, I'm making sure they next gone. Been like a pill on my lessons, breathing when I'm breath lost. That wrong, thinking that's my best shot. Flower guy, hero, coming, cock it out. Upper moon, lower moon, say I'm like a hot shit out. Whirlpool flow, cause I'm trying to drip. Flash dance, leaving mans in a dry eclipse. They talk shit, see it, and it's coming out from inside your mouth. So someone going out.
One of the first things I would like to talk about really is the customization. The customization shares strong resemblance to GPO and Project Slayers. While there's nothing wrong with that, there really isn't. GPO currently, well, from my opinion anyways, GPO currently has one of the best customization screens in the entirety of the anime community, comparing with things like Shindo and all that, and most likely Anime Legends, but we don't know enough about that, right? But the customization was pretty thorough. It was pretty easy. You could tell that developers put a lot of thought into it, especially from the background scenes. You see that little I'm pretty sure that's Rengoku on the far left, on the left side of it. And that's like, it's minor details like this that tells you that, hey, the developer cares about the game, and they're going to be, even though the combat may not be that great, we'll still get a game that's aesthetically pleasing to the eye, and you won't ever see like bad animations in the game. That's one of the things I personally look out for. Others might not, but I just thought that that little small detail, especially with Rengoku on the left, I think it was pretty nice. And that kind of tells me what type of game it will be and what type of effort the developers put into stuff like that. So let's go to the next point. Okay, so my next point is the combat system. Personally, I'll just be straight up honest with y'all. When I first got into the game, I was like, hey, this combat system's kind of slow. I don't like it. I don't think I'm gonna enjoy it. But as time went by, I played around with it a little bit more, figured out a few little combos, especially with thunder breathing. I'm like, hey, this combat's actually pretty nice. The thing about slow combat systems, especially nowadays, is just that since we've seen so many fast-paced combat systems like ABA, Shindo, GPO, and even, well, no, Project Slayers, I wouldn't call Project Slayers really fast. But the slow combat system was kind of a turn off for me, but as long as you give it a chance and you kind of learn it, it's perfectly fine. It's really nice. The animations are clean. There's not much really, there's not any overbearing or combos that you do like for example, right? For Project Slayers, or just DBOG, right? They have their own combo system where it would be like left click, right click, left click, all that, right? For me, I just like simple combat system. M1, and then you do a little combo afterwards with either your breathing or whatever moveset you have. It's simple. There's nothing intricate about it. It's just a simple combat system, and this brought that. It's a four combo type of system where it's a 3 sword clicks, and then it's like 3 swords M1s, and then 1 heavy hit, which is with your foot. It's simple. There's not much, there's nothing hard about it. It's pretty straightforward. As long as you're used to it after a while. If you're someone like me with fast combat type of systems, you just give it a chance. It was probably perfect. There's not much I would say that needs to change in terms of combat. The only thing that I would say, if I had to give it a down, it will just be that it's slow. But besides that, I don't have anything bad to say about the combat system. The combat system is actually pretty nice. Alright, one of my favorite aspects of the game is the exploration that you can do. The map is fairly huge, and it's not really much of a bother to go and explore it, because even though the map is huge, the running system and the whole system for you to be able to travel is pretty fast, and they're pretty well connected, and you don't have to do much for you to be confused about, right? I really like going to the caves, and especially going through the caves, especially the crystal cave. When you're about to get out of it, you will see this big you will go from this dark to the very open and sunny area. Once you're outside, you see right there, once you're outside of the crystal cave, you see this big and snowy daylight area, and honestly that's fine, that's fire. I really like that aspect about RPG games, the ability to explore. I feel that a lot of games nowadays, they kind of like forget about that. Like they're mainly focused on, hey, just fight this mob, fight that mob, while they forget that, hey, some players just like, you know, exploring. They're just like, you know, fighting new aspects of the map that other players don't. And, you know, it's just like something fun to do. You're not really you don't really have to focus on, you know, what's it called, fighting all the time. You just take a little bit of your time and you're like, hey, this is fun. I can go out, I can go play the game just to like, you know, find new places on the map, and I can just have fun. And like another aspect is like this game has a feature called rice farming, right? So you pretty much go to a rice field and talk to this like old guy right here, and he gives you a pitchfork, right? He gives you like a pitchfork, and now all you have to do, and like it gives you money too, like the pitchfork's free and all that. All you really have to do is just farm. You literally farm and you get free money. Like I don't know what to say about that, bro. I was like, hey, yo, this low-key slaps. This low-key slaps, because, you know, again, like not a lot of games do that, like miscellaneous things for like, you know, what's it called, items. Well, I guess you could say like GPO with that, what's it called, the shoveling thing. But like that just takes way too long, and like it's not even like a proper farm. But this gives you 10 what's it called, yen each time. You don't even need to fight mobs. You could just be vibing out your day, go get a sword, and then like you're cool, you're vibing, bro. And honestly, it's a very nice aspect, like especially like it's calming. I found the like experience very calming. And honestly, like just these little things about the game makes me enjoy it. Like I feel that a lot of developers nowadays forget about the little things in game. Sometimes some people do want like big flashy things, but like sometimes the little things that like, you know, most people would like look over, there are like there are a lot of players that, you know, would still be like, hey, this is a cool feature. This game actually, you know, has more to it than just, hey, fighting mobs. There's actually, you know, exploring. There's miscellaneous tasks that, you know, just make little aspects of the game that just make the game an overall better experience for, you know, anyone that plays it, right? And yeah, that's really it. In true review fashion, it wouldn't really be a true and honest review without telling you certain things that I disliked about the game, since I did like 3 portions where I kind of pretty much hyped the game up and like, you know, talked about features that I liked within the game, right? So let's talk about like features I really disliked about the game, right? So number 1 would easily be the stamina, how the stamina works. So pretty much if you want to run, you lose stamina. And like while that doesn't sound, what's it called, oh, you're just losing stamina, well, I'm not done yet. Not only do you lose stamina when you're running, you use stamina when you're walking. So imagine you have to get to, you're in part A, you need to get to part B. Not only will you have a hard time till you get higher levels, but if you need to finish the quest where you actually need to fight the mobs, you will see real quick what I'm talking about. I really dislike when a game has that stamina feature. I feel like stamina should, I'm fine with the whole, hey, you need, every punch you do requires stamina. If you need to jump, stamina. If you need to climb, stamina. That is fine. I just don't like it when you involve it with the running, since I just feel like running is such a big aspect of, you know, just the overall gameplay. And since like running, most people will be running in the game for them to be able to do anything. Like I just really dislike that. The next thing I would have to say is just like, again, the slow combat system. Like some people may be like, oh, Ash, you're just like, you're being too like, what's it called, picky with what you're choosing. I'm just like, well, again, that's just me. This is a personal review and just an honest review of like the entirety of the game. I just don't like slow combat systems. While I am used to it and I think that it's fine once I got used to it, but once I first dove into the game, the combat system is something that if I do not enjoy it, I probably won't stay more than like, what's it called, an hour in the game. Like I always say, hey, if I'm gonna play a new game, I'm gonna give it an hour. But again, the combat system, slow combat system just make me not want to play at all. I just like fast-paced games. I feel like, hey, if we get into a match, I feel like, hey, fast-paced combat. Again, yes, you can do your combo, you can do this and that. I don't care, as long as it's fast-paced. And like a lot of times when I do combat, like what's it called, genre games where like PvP is a big aspect of the game, I feel that, hey, if the combat is not fast-paced, like the M1 system is just not fast-paced, I'm just not gonna play. It's just a major turnoff. Another thing I would have to say is just like the lack of, I know it's in testing, but I feel that like for the amount of time that the game has been in testing, I feel that what's it called, it probably should have had like maybe 2 more breathings out. I know there's more breathings coming out, but since like the release is literally today, I feel like the release that they could have at least brought in at least 4 breathings minimum. Well, I understand that it takes a lot of time for people to even make things like that, and you know, it's not an easy thing being able to animate, come with original idea for moves, and even if you're following a structure, again, it's hard to animate things, it's hard to get the proper assets for certain things, especially for a Demon Slayer game where, you know, certain moves do need to be flashy, and if they don't look good, if you have like the basic, what's it called, particles and all that on a move, it's just gonna look shitty, and no one's gonna want that. So while I do understand it still feels like lackluster of the game not to have more than like 2 breathings. I know that, what's it called, tomorrow's update will have flame, but as the current state of the game, we're talking about the right now of the game, again, it's still something that I wish that they had more with the, what's it called, the current state of the game and how long it's been in development for. Again, this is just an honest review. Don't come for me, bro. And yeah, that's really it. Besides those 3 things, what's it called, stamina, what's it called, the combat system, and what's it called, the lack of breathings in the game, I just feel like the game's pretty good, and I do recommend you playing it and you trying it out, because again, we know that Slayers Unleashed, what's it called, released a few days ago, and which is why, what's it called, they kind of rush development with, what's it called, Demonblox, because they are the rightful owners of, like, what's it called, the game assets and all that. So hey, tell me what you guys think of the game down below in the comment section, and you know, without further ado, I'll see you guys next time. Peace. All right, in true review fashion, I don't think it would be fair if I just, you know, gave 3 points of me just like, you know, saying what I like about the game without me telling you what I dislike about the game. So first thing off is easily stamina. I hate how the stamina works. I don't know if you know this game, but Visteria, they kind of remind me of Visterian with the way they did stamina, right? But the way stamina works in this game is that for when you need to run, again, one of the most disgusting ideas I hate in any game, when you need to run, it requires stamina, right? You know, oh, Ash, that's not really bad. Hold on. I'm not finished. Not only does it require you stamina to run, it requires you stamina to just fight. And once you're level 1, you start off with 100 stamina. Running for like a good 10 seconds probably depletes like more than half. It takes like 80% of your stamina right there. And not just that, you kind of like the walking is very slow. It is very slow. You need to be running like a good 95% of the time you're in game. Walking is not it, trust me. Rolling takes stamina. Again, things like that take stamina. Again, I'm fine with like, hey, you needing to box someone, you need stamina to, you know, do your M1s. That's fine. I understand the fact that, hey, maybe if you need to climb, you need stamina. If you need to roll, you need stamina. You need to, do jump. Even if you need to jump, it requires stamina. I am fine with that. But I hate when like developers add that little thing where if you run, it takes stamina. It makes sense. Don't get me wrong, it makes sense. I just hate it. Any game like Visteria, that's one of the reasons why I stopped playing Visteria. I like Visteria. I love Visteria. I grind the heck out of Visteria, right? But the stamina thing was just a major turnoff, right? Next bad thing I would say about the game is the lack of breathings. I know that they had to kind of rush development because of certain things that happened with Slayers Unleashed. I understand that completely. I know that it's hard to, you know, animate, get the proper assets for the breathings. I just feel like the game has been in development for quite a little while, so I feel that the fact that they don't have more than 4 breathings ready to go for the open testing, I just feel like, you know, that's kind of like a major downside of the game. While they do have 2 breathings, you know, that's fine, and I know they're adding flame breathing really soon. I just feel that, hey, the game's been in development for quite a while, and I know that like maybe you had a few problems with devs. I'm not sure. I don't know like the inner workings of the game, but I just feel like, hey, you should have at least 4 breathings for the open testing, right? But again, that's not really their fault. Developing a game is really hard, so I'll give them like a 50-50 on that. And finally, the last thing is just simple, the combat. I hate slow combat paced games, and if the combat's not really fast, or like, what's it called, I can't just go into a fight and then like, I don't like fights that take a whole like 15 minutes or like a whole 10 minutes. I hate fights that take 10 minutes. I just feel it's just too much effort for no reason. I just want to go into a game, go into arena mode or anything, or just like go into PvP and just box people up. I just want to box people up. I don't want like no issues. I don't want to be having to like, what's it called, especially like when people just like completely abuse dashing or like blocking. It's just like, why? But like, again, the game, even though the combat is slow, like the breathing more than makes up for it. So it does make sense that, hey, even though the combat is slow, the breathing kind of makes up for it with like, you know, the combos you can do with breathing, especially Thunder. But besides that, yeah, that's all I really have to say about the game. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.